Hello, my lovely Stitchy Lynn here. I thought I would share with you just a portion of my button collection. Ugh, this is horrible today. So I'm going to pause this. I'm going to turn it around and then I'll show you and then we'll talk about it a little bit. Okay, so here's one of my button tins, and everything in here is vintage to antique. And that's a bunch of buttons. All the way down. This is how tall it is. And then these here, these are my leather buttons that I got, that I purchased from Spin Cycle Yarns. They had these made by, let's see if I can read it. They're made in Manitoba, Canada by pearlandhank.com. I have brown ones and I have black ones. These are brown. These are brown here. I wrote the colors on the back. There's a black and there's the black. So those are pretty cool. So those are not vintage. So I'm going to go over here. And then these are not buttons, but they're labels. And it tells you hand wash and dry flat. And those are leather. And they are made by Katrinkles. Washable tags. Which is helpful when you're gifting someone something. It's handmade. And then this one is definitely a vintage. I'm going to say about 1960s to 70s somewhere. And then this one is not vintage. I'm separating my vintage from my modern. But this I got from Apple Yarns. I just thought it was so cute. And I love the color of it. It's kind of a peachy color. This one is vintage. And I'm not sure from when. Let's see if I can read the writing on this. I cannot read the writing on it still. I tried earlier too, but anyway, I thought that was pretty. It'd be pretty at the top of a cardigan, a one-button cardigan. I've got a bunch of these. These are definitely vintage. They're so pretty. This one is vintage here. I just picked some out that you could see. And this one is vintage. I love this one. It's so cool. That's from the 1970s. And this one is from the 50s. It's still in really good shape. And I'll use that again on... I don't know if I have any more. Oh, I do. I have another one. So I may have more in there. So I know I've got two of those. For now, we'll put them back in there. These are handmade, and they're not vintage. They're modern. I think they're made by Katrinkles. I'm not sure, but I think that's who they're made by, so they go up here. I'm going to put these vintage ones away. And then these are not vintage. These are handmade, also by Katrinkles, and it says handmade. That's all it says on them. They're really cute. And then this one is vintage. I don't know if I showed you this. I don't know. It was in a collection that I got, a little baggie, actually a rather large baggie of vintage buttons at a thrift store. And I wouldn't have purchased it just on my own. Not that particular one. Then this is a modern day. This one I got at Apple Yarns also. And this is how I planned to do these, is to make it like that. That's why. And then this one, I'm not sure where that one came from, but it is a wood. Oh, there it is. Oh, that's Apple Yarns also. There we go. And these, I'm not sure where I got these. These might have been from Apple Yarns, actually. But they might not have been. I don't know. I don't remember. Those are modern, but they're cute little apples. And then this, these are vintage. No, never mind. Scratch that. These are not vintage. These are relatively. Oh, I had another card. I got them at Joanne Fabrics. Never mind. Those are not vintage. And then we got these. We got these two. I've used one from each card. I forget what they were. I think they were just bigger ones of this, if I remember right. Those are not vintage. And they came from Walmart, as you can clearly see. Walmart buttons. They're cute. And then these are special ones that I purchased at Quintessential Yarns in Duval, Washington. Aren't they pretty? I just love pottery buttons, or ceramic buttons. They are handmade. You can see that right there. And they're called oneofakindbuttons.com. You can go there if you want. But they are available at Quintessential Yarns in Duval, Washington. I got those a few years ago now. Golly, I can't even remember. 5, 6 years ago. And then, so they're not vintage. And these cute little ladybugs, they just darling. These, I might have got these at Hobby Lobby. I'm not sure where I got these. They might have been from Joanne Fabrics. But I got these for like a little girl's outfit. Again, not vintage. These are not vintage. I just liked them. I think these might be Hobby Lobby. I don't know. I'm not sure. Doesn't say Hobby Lobby on them. And then these are Katrinkles. Again, not vintage. And these are wood. And the way you attach them is by cross-stitching or back-stitching around on them. And then these are also by Katrinkles. And these are wooden buttons heart. 15 pieces, and they are 15 millimeters. And I got 2 packages. Oh, actually, they're a little bit different. Because there's these with the hearts, and then there's these with the little daisies on them. Which I love daisies. Aren't they cute? And then these came from a thrift shop. So those are vintage. And I don't know what year or what era they're from, but probably the 70s, maybe the 60s. So, and then none of these are vintage here, but I've gotten them all from Apple Yarns, and there's some really cute. I love this one. I was thinking about making a bracelet and using this as the closure for it, because it's round. But yeah, so that's my button collection. I just thought it would be fun to show you. Now I'm going to sort through and separate and all that good stuff. I love you. Jesus loves you even more than I do. And I love you, oodles and noodles. Mwah. Be blessed, be kind.